This is a question that I frequently get asked, and hopefully I can provide you with some insight. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of How to Be a Great GM. My name is Guy, and today the question that we are answering, you've already read it in the title and in the thumbnail, so you should know what I'm talking about, so I shouldn't waste very much time talking about it, but I'm going to anyway because that's just how my brain works, and look at all the time that we've now wasted. I, as a player, struggle to work with my group. How do I work better with my group? Generally speaking, I find that my player characters very seldom, we sort of bumble around and we kind of get there, but we don't feel like a team. How do you work as a team player? Okay, interesting. Or how do you work together as a team? Well, the very, very simple answer is, well, then you need to be a team. Just because you're sat around the table and you're all on the same adventure doesn't mean that you're a team. When you think about what makes a team, there are a few critical elements that go into that. Communication is very important in a team. And you go, okay, well, we're sitting around a table playing a talkie game. I mean, really, you literally don't need anything else except for words. This is true. But what words are you using? And how are you using those words? When you are communicating with your fellow players, it is absolutely critical that you listen to what they are saying instead of sitting there trying to work out the answer or work out what they're saying before they get to the end of what they are saying. Understand what they are saying and understand what they are trying to convey as well. What do they want when they are saying something? If someone says, I discovered that the witch lives in a hut in the forest. Okay, so you've discovered the witch lives in a hut in the forest. Do you want to go to this hut? Do you have any evidence that this hut has value to us? Is there a reason why you have mentioned this? It's good that you have. All information is useful, even if it doesn't necessarily seem so, because another player might go, oh, I overheard the Thatcher saying that he'd recently come back from the forest and that it was very, very weird because, well, it was just a dark place. So listen to what your fellow players are saying and understand why they're saying it and what they could possibly want out of having said it. Because if a player says the witch lives in a hut in the wood, and you go, yes, we know that already. Now, what about the red dagger? You've completely dismissed that other player. You've shut them down. They're not going to be interested in sharing any more information with you because you just dismissed them. Listen to what they are saying, understand what they are saying, and interrogate it. And be prepared to be interrogated yourself, and don't shut down either, going, well, it's just because it's something that I heard. Well, no, that's not what they're trying to do. They're not questioning your authenticity. At least they shouldn't be. Another part of being a team. No team exists where people don't practice with each other. If you are on a soccer team, you never go into a match with no practice. Someone is there saying, hey, we got to practice. And then when you start practicing, it's not that you all just go and stand and kick a ball against a wall. I assume. I have no idea what practice goes on in a soccer match, as a matter of fact. Anyway, nonetheless, the validity of the idea stands. You need to work together. And this is literally your character going, okay, I'm a magic user, and I'm pretty good at shutting down groups, but I'm not very good at working on individuals, or I don't do undead. I've got nothing that I can do against undead. That's useful information. And then the player can go, well, I'm pretty good at killing individuals, but groups is my problem. Okay. That's step one. Step two is going, so we want to isolate individuals for the warrior to work on, and we want to keep groups separate. We want to keep them away from the individuals. Right, so as a mage, I'm going to practice taking out the groups once we've got one of them free to go and engage with the fighter. Whereas before, the mage would just cast sleep on everybody and everyone would fall asleep. And the warrior would go, well, now what do I do? If I hit the one, okay, fine, sure. Now you can start to navigate and go, well, actually, the fight is going to lure one away, and then I'm going to cast sleep on these ones because I need to run away a little bit and then wave my hands around to try and get them to follow me rather than to follow the warrior. Or the warrior needs to stick really close to me while somebody else is out there doing something else. So you need to practice as a team. It might sound crazy, and I can't believe I'm saying this. You might feel a little bit foolish for doing it. You shouldn't feel foolish for doing it at all. I mean, for heaven's sakes, This game is about making up stuff. So why not make up that you're practicing? You'd be amazed at like the combos and things that you can figure out. It's like, oh, well, if you do that, then I do this. So that's important. And don't think that once you've got a solution, that's it. Because you go, okay, well, that's with groups. But what if we are fighting just a single big monster? What do we do then? Well, again, practice and teamwork will start to emerge as a result of that. Finally, teamwork and being part of a team is about communication. It's about working together and practicing and learning one's strengths and weaknesses in that practice. And it is also about building rapport and trust. And the only way you can do that, as far as anybody knows anyway, is by being social, by sharing about yourself. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your ambitions? What do you see for your character in the next 2 or 3 years? And you're going, I don't know. I just see my character as a piece of paper and some dice. No, that's on you. I can't help you there. But hopefully you can go, well, actually, that's a good point. What does my character have as a goal? This was something that I discovered the other day when I was running a game of D&D in another castle, different castle. And my players went, I don't actually know what to say during downtime. Well, what does your character want? Oh, I don't know what my character wants. But you've written a backstory. Yes. So if you can write a backstory, you can write a forestory, technically, foreshadowing. Going, well, what's your character's plan? They've got to have a plan. They're not just wandering. Well, I met up with these people and I'm following them around. Why? Well, because I don't really have a plan. Why? Well, because I've never thought about it. Why? Well, because, exactly. What your character wants, what their goals are, what they are hoping to achieve, all of that should be built into your character, or at least you should be developing it as you are playing it, so that you can share during teamwork, after teamwork. You're sitting in the onsen, bathing, washing away the dirt and grime from the practice session, and you go, well, you know, I really want to raise hedgehogs as a retirement. I think I'd like a hedgehog farm. And I like hedgehogs because they're a little bit spiky, but they're not too spiky. They're not as aggressive, you know, as a porcupine. But they're still quite dangerous. And I like hedgehogs. Everybody else will be going, okay, less Diet Coke for you and more water, I think. But a few of them will pick up on it and go, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Do you like the defensive nature of hedgehogs? The fact that they can roll into a ball? Maybe we can figure out a way to attack groups in a ball spiky thing. And hence the testudo, the famous Roman turtle shell approach type of thing probably came about because one of the Romans was like, I want to raise turtles. They're very defensive, you know. You can't shoot them with an arrow or spears. By sharing, you generate a space where everybody starts to trust the characters become real. By practicing, you know what you're doing. And by communicating, you are effectively creating a wonderful team dynamic. It doesn't just happen, folks. This is stuff that you have to work on. And this is how you achieve it. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, huge thank you to my patrons, and of course to you for watching all the way until the end. Until then, I wish you and yours the happiest of gaming.